My name is Stephanie No, and I'm a certified life and mindset coach. And today it's Monday, and we talk about money on Mondays. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be intentional with your money. How do you want to feel when you think about money? How do you want to feel when you spend your money, right? Do you want to be constantly anxious and stressed out? Probably not. We're going to talk about how to become more intentional and purposeful when it comes to your money mindset. If you've been following along the series, we talked about our money story and beliefs and how they really shape and manifest in our life. Then we talked about how to find your money and become aware of where your money is coming in from and going out to. Next, we talked about your money behaviors and money actions. What do you actually do with your money and what is driving that action? Today, the final part of the series, we're going to talk about being intentional with your money, and let's set some goals and talk about how to achieve your financial goals. We've talked about how money mindset plays a role in money. It's more than just dollars and cents. It's more than just accounting and math. It's more about the emotions that you feel, what you're thinking when you think about money. Because we often forget it's our emotions that drive our actions, right? If you find yourself overspending a lot, whether that's on food or clothing, entertainment, fun stuff, whatever it is that you find yourself spending on, that is being driven by something you're feeling. So maybe get clear on that. So today we're going to reverse engineer our goals. Typically, with my clients, I like to do this fun goal setting exercise. I teach them how to cultivate their dream life. And we really go through envisioning your life from the 25-year mark to 10 years out to 5 years out to 1 year out. And I like to go in reverse because it's just more fun that way and you get a bigger picture. Because sometimes, well, actually, all the time, the goal is not actually about hitting that goal. It's more about the journey, the person you become, the lessons learned along the way. We always think the end result is the goal, or we always think the goal is what will make us happy, fulfilled, or content, but it's actually like the journey along that. When we stretch ourselves, when we grow, when we learn more about ourselves in that journey to try to reach our goal, I guarantee that you won't be disappointed in the journey trying to get there. I like to set a wide picture of what do you want your life to look like in about 25 years. From there, you kind of draw this big picture. Be specific. What do you do? Where do you live? How do you see yourself spending your time? Do you travel? Do you work? Then work your way back to 10 years. If that's what you want at 25 years out, then where should you be, or what do you think you should be doing at about 10 years? And then same, we work our way back to the 5 year mark. And then from there, we work our way to the 1 year mark. And so the reason I bring that up is because if we're going to be intentional and be purposeful when we think about money in our lives, we want our financial goals or financial wellness to be in sync and aligned with our big picture dream life, right? It doesn't make sense if we're aiming for small financial goals when ultimately it doesn't really have a place in the dream life that we cultivated. For example, if you're saying something like, I want to, in 25 years, live beachside, oceanfront, beautiful view. I want to be financially free and retired. Depending on how old you are and at what point you are in your career, how much you have saved up, it looks very different for everybody, right? So your financial goal today might be quite different for someone else who's starting their career or for someone else who's nearing retirement. That's why you have to have a clear vision of the big picture in order to kind of accurately make a relevant, meaningful financial goal in the now. Let's get started with that reverse engineering that I talked about. If we know that our actions that we take are driven by the emotions that we feel, let's just recreate it and kind of get an idea of what we're going to go for. Let's start with the goal, the financial goal. Let's say you have $5,000 of credit card debt. Okay. And your goal is I would love to pay that off within the next year. So there's a few things that we want to do with our goal, right? We want to be very specific with the timeline. And typically I would say maybe keep it relevant within 6 months to a year. As for now, we want to make it measurable. You need to know at what point will you know you've reached this goal. So you can't make a goal saying, I want to be financially free in 6 months. Because what does financially free mean? You'd have to define that in measurable terms. If you're like, okay, I want zero debt, I want to be able to quit my job, self-sustain, so on, so forth. If your goal is to pay off my $5,000 credit card in 12 months, now we're going to go backwards. What actions do I need to be taking today and within the next 12 months to ensure that I pay off this $5,000 of debt? Take your suggested payment, and then we're going to that into our monthly. So let's say it is $500 a month. Right now, I want you to list out every single action that you can think of that comes to your goal. What do you need to do to accomplish this goal? You need to look at the budget template that hopefully you've worked on since the last time we met. Take a look at that and see where in your finances is that available to you. If not, right? If the $500 isn't available to you, then what would be the next action? It's probably something along the lines of, okay, I either need to cut something somewhere or I need to bring in more income so I can cover that bill. Then you're going to have to look at your situation right now and figure out like, okay, I need to make another $150 a month, or I need to cut back, whatever it is. You are the most knowledgeable person on your situation currently, right? You know what comes in, you know what goes out. So just do basic math and see, okay, if I'm short this much, this is what I need to make additionally in order to be able to pay this. And then we're going to make more action steps. So if your action step is, I need to bring in an additional $150 per month. Now I want you to brainstorm that. What do you think you need to do to bring in that extra income? If you were forced to make a decision today and I said, hey, you need to go make $150 right now, today, go. You have 24 hours. I mean, what would you do? For me, I think I would think of, okay, maybe I can make a special coaching offer and sell it today. Then maybe I can look around my house and see what I don't need and sell it on Facebook Marketplace or all those online platforms, right? Yeah, I can babysit someone's kid or, so think of all the ways that you can increase your income. Sometimes you can take like online surveys. Sometimes you can dog walk, right? There's all these apps. There's so many things available to you. It's 2024. Whatever you set your heart on, you can probably Google and YouTube it and figure it out. Once you come up with your list of ideas or what you need to do in order to do that, then your next step would probably be something along the lines of either research it or actually do it, right? So that's a part of the action plan. Now we have all the action steps. And when I say action steps, it's basically list out every little thing that you would need to do to make this happen. And if you're stuck in, I don't know what to do, or I'm not sure, what if you did know? Just take a stab at it, take a guess, and write that down as your action plan. Basically, these little steps become little mini goals, do goals, right? They're so small that you'd be able to do it. You have so many resources available to you that if you really didn't know, you could ask a friend. You could call a family member. You could, I don't know, reach out to someone on Instagram, go to the library, read a book. So maybe that becomes a part of your action plan. Oh, research how to do XYZ, right? So now that we have our actions of what you need to do to achieve your goal, now we're going to look at your feeling. What do you need to be feeling in order to do these types of actions? Sometimes I ask my clients, like, how do you want to feel when it comes to money? What do you want to feel when you think of money, when something comes up for you related to finances? What do you want to feel like? And sometimes it's relaxed, or I want it to feel easy. I want to be at peace. But you know what? Sometimes those are not the actions that really light you up and make you take action. Sometimes people need to feel like easy, relaxed, like as if it's no big deal to take action. Or some people need to feel like there's a fire under them that's igniting it, and that forces them to take the massive action that they need to take. You need to be honest with yourself and kind of explore, what do you think you need to feel to move forward and take these actions. Sometimes for me, I think, we often think it's like motivation, but sometimes I think it's just like tenacity. I will continue to push forward and do this until I get it. That's tenacity, or that grit, right? I'm just going to give it my all and throw it all out there and see. I'm going to keep going till I hit my goal. Some would say that's determined. Find that magic feeling that you think helps you move forward to take these actions. Let's say you want to feel determined to do all these actions. What do you need to be thinking in order to feel this way? So if you want to feel determined, what do you need to be telling yourself in your mind to create that feeling of determination? It could be something along the lines of, there's no plan B. For me, that creates this sense of determination because there's no backup plan. I have to move forward. This is it. Or it could be something of the line, something along the lines of, I have to do this for my family. I have to do this for me. I want to do this for me. Try on different sentences, thoughts, beliefs. And if you find yourself getting stuck and you're like, I cannot find something, I think what's helpful is to, one, try mine on. So write what I just said down and then sit with it and just kind of like repeat it to yourself, close your eyes and think about it and see what kind of feeling does that create for you. And just test the different thoughts and beliefs out. This is where the being intentional part comes. I mean, they say the human brain, we think over 60,000 or to 90,000 thoughts every day. What's funny is a lot of those probably are repeats. It's something that we just naturally tell ourselves over and over and over because, our brain loves repetition. So this is where the work comes in, is that you're going to have to train your brain to think and believe a different mantra. This is why affirmations are so popular, because it's helpful, because it just kind of creates that momentum for you to keep repeating it and think it, believe it, right? And live it. Sit with that for a little and recreate something that you need to believe in order to create that feeling of determination, or whatever feeling you need to feel to complete these actions. Once we have that thought, I want you to write that thought out. So if mine was, I want to do this for myself, I'm going to write it on a sticky note. So like I have like a little notepad, so like write it down. And I love Post-its and I post it everywhere. So if you need to post that on your mirror every day when you brush your teeth and you want to read that to yourself to get yourself into that mindset and remind yourself, then do it. If you want to set like a phone reminder, like you set it on your calendar and it repeats and it sets off and you can see it on your phone, do that, right? Which brings me lastly to what's the whole point of being intentional with our money thoughts and our mindset? It's because we're trying to reach this goal. We want to do these things, but why do we want to do these things? Now we're really going to dig deep into why do you even want to accomplish this goal? Why does this matter to you? So for some of you, it might just be, I just want less stress. I don't want this terrible relationship with money. I don't want to feel anxious when I see a bill come in. Or some of you, it's, I want to feel lighter. I want to have more money for fun stuff. I want to go on vacation. I want to enjoy more time with my family and kids versus stressing all the time. So there has to be a bigger why, because obviously this is, when we're going for our goals and it's bigger than us, bigger than what we currently see ourselves doing, it's going to get hard, right? Because life is 50-50. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. And so what gets you through those moments is just really coming back to the why. It's like, why do you want to do this? Because you don't actually have to, right? You could continue this current relationship with money. You could continue just making it work every month. You could continue to be in this cycle with money, right? It's all up to you. It's all your choice. And this is what's so empowering about mindset work, is just that it's a reminder to you of how much you can really control and take control of your life. So you need to remind yourself, what is that why? What am I doing? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to be very intentional with my money? And how would this make my life even more amazing than it is right now? Most times, where do people get stuck in goals? It's the fear, the uncertainty, the not knowing, right? It's just this feeling of, well, I don't know. Can I do this? Or what if I put in all this work and it doesn't amount in anything? I mean, that could be true. But what people often forget about is, what about the upside? What if it all works out exactly how you want it to, exactly what you want it to be like? When we avoid making a decision or put off these goals, or we kind of just, avoid our money situations or problems. I mean, ultimately, it's out of fear. What if I can't handle it? Or what if it just doesn't get better? Or what if this doesn't work out? Who knows? But I mean, deciding not to take action is a decision in its own. You're deciding to delay it, you're deciding to avoid it. And in that has its own consequences. If you're avoiding working on the debt because you feel super overwhelmed when you think about it, I mean, that debt is most likely just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And so you not deciding to take action seems like nothing, but we know that it is a decision. And actually, it's a decision to stay in debt and to actually grow your debt. But you're just not seeing it that way, right? If you want to get serious about taking control of your money and being more intentional and purposeful, because typically most of us just live very, you spend it and then you think about it after the fact, right? It's an impulse buy. Or if it's something like, if you're constantly thinking, what's one more thing? Or what's another $10? It's just $5 here, $5 there. But I mean, that can build up. If you've ever been to a dollar store or a Daiso, or the dollar section of Target, for sure those $1 purchases, those $3 purchases, that all adds up. And you could walk out of there and spend $50 and you're like, I just came in for like nothing actually, but I walked out with $50 worth of things, right? Of stuff. In order to avoid the impulsive and just meaningless purchases or consumerism, whatever it is, right? This is where you get intentional and you decide ahead of time, what do I want to feel about money? How do I want to behave with my money? What do I want my money to do for me? How is it going to work for me? Right? Instead of the other way around where you're relying on external or money to kind of figure things out and just handle itself. This is just taking control, empowering yourself to really sit down and be purposeful and decide for yourself, what role is money going to play in your life? How do you want to feel about your relationship to money? I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me or email me. I'm here and I will respond. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so I can create more content that is relevant for you guys. Talk to you soon. All right.